Tell you that I didn't even know what entrepreneurship was all about. Rather, I didn't even know how to pronounce entrepreneurship. My pre-final year of engineering, National Entrepreneurship Network, the biggest organization which is into entrepreneurship, educating and imparting entrepreneurship education throughout the country, set up an entrepreneurship cell in my college, which is the National Institute of Engineering. So we had around 5 student startups from our own ESL, and after that I just wanted to take a break, or I didn't have any great idea. I didn't want to start a company just because I wanted to. I didn't have any path breaking idea, or rather something which would add value to the society. So I chose to go back to my job. So I started working in an IT company, and after 2 years is when I thought, okay, so that is it. Let me do something what I was always intended and what I was always interested to do rather. So that is when these two companies were founded. The one is W, a web design company, and the second one is the Crazy Yatra. W is a web design, web development company. So you must be wondering what is so special about it. There are so many web developers around the world. So what makes W so special, and what is that USP which we are trying to bring about? So this was actually a student startup. One of my colleagues, who is a technical geek, had a lot of technical knowledge, and he used to build websites for some of his friends and colleagues. So I thought, let's add some business value to it. So we tied up, we partnered together, and we founded W. So when we did a market survey, we found out that there are a lot of web developers all around the world, but they are, again, just there's nothing special about them. Most of them are not professional. People were already fed up of having shabby web developers who used to come and create as a hobby project and run away. So the market needed somebody who could be very professional and up to date. So web developments, in fact, this whole web domain is changing every single day. So you have to be updated on the latest technology and offer better solutions. So rather than building websites, you have to build solutions, and that is where the market today lies. So we captured that, and today W is around 3 years old. We registered a year back. We have done around 150 projects, and these are not 150 different clients. There are around only 50 to 60 clients, and these clients have come back to us again and again because of the work we do, and that is what makes us happy. So W is not only into web development today, it is also into web application development. We are also getting into mobile application development. We offer web services also, like search engine optimization, etc. So that is how W was founded as a student startup 3 years back, and today it is a professional web development company whom most of the big, and we have some good clients like National Entrepreneurship Network itself, Wadhwani Foundation, MyPole, Go Green BOV, and etc. to name a few. So Crazy Yatra, okay, so this is something very close to my heart, in fact, because this is what I love to do. Travel is something which most of us love to do, and what we figured out, me and my other partner, is there is a need for a change in the way travel is done today. Kinds of the Amazing Race game show of AXN, we thought of plugging in this whole concept of competitiveness and memories plugged in together into one memorable trip. So what we do at Crazy Yatra is we take people on to different places on a package trip, and they do some exciting stuff there on their own. So they explore the place on their own. So these are two ventures which I am running today. External partners. These are the guys whom you need to run your show. This will apply more to my company Crazy Yatra rather than W. Crazy Yatra, it is all about external partners. We need a transport vendor, we need a food vendor, we need a homestay vendor. So there are a lot of external partners involved here, and it is amazing to go and do a survey and choose among all these different people. So we spend a lot of time in deciding actually who is the better person to choose, and over the time we have learned the trick of it, and we are now in a position to make decisions in quick time. So how do we do it is, we just keep one thing in mind, which is long-term strategy. So it's not about short-term. Probably if you have a requirement today of hiring a transport vendor, You have to think if he's reliable for long term, your long term vision. So tomorrow you just give him a call and say, okay, I need a bus tomorrow. Will he be able to provide? It is that question you have to ask yourself. So the first thing when you decide or when you think of deciding on your external partner is do not restrict yourself to the short term requirement you have, but keep the long term vision in mind. So that is one thing. Now the second most important is of course the trust. Now you need to have trust in those partners as much as you have on your internal partner. Just because they may be associated with you for a small amount of time, maybe, but still you need to have that bondage and trust which you still have with an internal partner. And the third thing and the last thing which you would need always in an external partner would be the reliability. Now you have to blindly rely on that person that he can deliver quality output for you without you handholding them or giving them a call every single time. So if these three things are met, I think you have a good team with external partners. Yes, you have to outsource some part of your job to a third party, of course. Otherwise, you'll end up becoming a master of all and jack of. Probably Ratan Tata could have a gamut of all industries under this, but not everybody can do it. So there is some part which you have to outsource. And what is it? It has to obviously be your weakness. So list down your strengths, your weakness, whatever your stronghold is, whatever you're strong at, that is what you will do your personally. There will be some things which somebody else can do better than you, just a small part of it. Say for example, in my web design company, we are great at creating websites, writing HTML code, PHP and everything. But we're not so great at designing. For designing, it's the whole different creative part of the brain which functions probably. I don't know, but designing is something which we are not very comfortable with. So that is something we outsource to a third party. So that is one thing that you have to keep in mind what your strongholds are. So the weakness or somebody can do something better than you, please outsource it. But before doing that, ask yourself who is accountable for the final project. It is you. It is not the person whom you are outsourcing it to. Whatever you may outsource, at the end of it, you are the one who is accountable. So keep in mind that you get the work, you outsource it to a person who is again the same things which I told before. So he has to be reliable, he has to be trustworthy, and he has to deliver on time. On time delivery is something which is a major challenge while dealing with external third party vendors. So you would have committed a time based on your talent and skill base, but when you outsource it to someone, probably there may be delay. So keep that in mind as well, and you will have a good team with externals and internals working, creating profits for you. Lot of discussions about it already, that how to differentiate your professional and personal life. I think it's a global topic already, but probably nobody has nailed the exact answer to it. I'll just give my try. So yes, it is always good thing to collaborate with your family and friends if you have a clear distinction in your mind to distinguish the same person when you see him personally and when you see him professionally. That is something very challenging. It's not that you get a split personality into your mind, but you tune your mind into so focused spectrum that okay, this he is my friend now and he is my business partner now. Now both my partners in both my companies are my very dear friends, but that's not the reason why they became my partners. The reason why they became my partners is because they always agree to disagree with me. And so you need such kind of people. So I don't know if I've answered the question, but the bottom line is it doesn't really matter if you're choosing an external guy or somebody whom you very closely know. If the person is able to treat you differently as personally and professionally, and if you are able to differentiate him and agree to disagree with them for every single thing, I think that shouldn't make a difference. I faced this problem when a transport vendor who was a regular transport vendor ditched us at the last moment, feeling that I am just a startup and he is an established company. But that didn't stop me from changing that whole transport vendor. Be bold enough to change your supplier if he's getting too naggy. You cannot work with people who dictate terms on you. It's you who dictate terms on the supplier. But there's a thin line, which differentiates this taking this good decision from being rude. You cannot be rude because you don't want a lot of enemies in the market already in terms of your past suppliers. So have a thin line, be professional, and be bold enough to tell them that this is not working out and change your supply. You should not be inferior when you're talking to somebody who is already established or who has not even had a company. There should be no distinction, and there should not even be an iota of doubt that when if you're talking to a person who is already established, do you have to present yourself differently? No, absolutely no. He will see the passion which is you exhibit in your face. So whether you're a small startup or a big startup, if you're able to showcase that passion, that real energy in your company which you have, then I don't think there should be a problem. I quit my job to become an entrepreneur. No, no, this is not my dialogue. This is a dialogue which I have heard numerous times for the past 1 year, and I'm sure you would have also heard. And I do not want to disagree with it, but this is not the reality. You do not have to quit your job to become an entrepreneur. I have two companies today, which I've co-founded, Crazy Yatra and Triple W, and I still am working. I'm proud to say that I have not quit my job because I love my job. There is no reason why I should be quitting my job just because I am able to employ somebody. Doesn't mean I cannot become an employee of somebody else. There is, or probably there will be a time when probably I'll not be able to give my 100% to either of this, and that is the time when I'll think of even quitting. So as of now, I'm alive and kicking. So let's see. So for Crazy Yatra, we plan to expand it to make corporate outings as well and try to bring something crazy in every single way of travel. So probably there should be hope to reach a stage where people say, if I have to travel, it has to be with Crazy Yatra. And that is the day probably I can relax and sit in a chair and say, okay, we have done a bit of what we intended to do. A Triple W again, it is to create not just quality websites and innovative products, which most of the companies do, but be a game changer in the market in terms of service we give to clients. As I said, we have had recurring clients who have been coming back to us again and again, and that is because the sheer quality which we deliver.